league in rushing.
Tuffy.
I didn't make up that name. Tuffy Lehman's 830 yards in 12 games back in 36. He was the rushing title winner, bring us all the way to 2019. Who's it going to be this year? We've been tracking it all season long in a segment that we call Off to the Races, where we had a draft before the season started. Bit of a old takes exposed factor to this, but we all picked running backs that we thought would lead the league in rushing. In the upper left corner, Kay Adams had the #1 pick and took Saquon Barkley. Then it went Gurley, Zeke, McCaffrey to Strager, and then we snaked around Kamara, Cook, Connor, all the way down to the bottom right corner, where Le'Veon Bell, the brand new New York Jet, was taken by P. Schrags as the best chance to win the rushing title. So what are we doing? 13 weeks of action. Shall we raise the curtain?
What we got?
Sound the bugle. Here we go. Seersucker suits, what have you, mint juleps. Who's singing the national anthem? Kristen Chenoweth? I don't know, but we're off to the races, and we got Nick Chubb is out in front, and it's McCaffrey, and it's Josh Jacobs up top on Team Adams. Team Brent, Nick Chubb out in front, Peter Schrager falling behind down the stretch. Are you kidding me, ladies and gentlemen? A shocker. Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns is leading the league in rushing. Nate's still black in the back of the starting blocks.
Derrick Henry on this list?
Wait, where he said I was black in the back?
Still black, he said.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely still black.
As ever, and that's why we love him. James Conner still in the starting blocks.
Okay.
And we have Nick Chubb, who we thought was going to fall off the table because Kareem Hunt was returning. Nate, just take over.
I'm good.
Here are the reins of the horse. You ride the horse.
I want to see the rushing leaders. Is Derrick Henry on that list?
It depends if we made the right choice. Let's see. Derrick Henry. Okay, it's
Oh my
okay.
God, he's third. He's going to win this
I think
thing.
#2 is the
Speaking
one.
of white choice, Chris McCaffrey is playing unbelievable this year.
Derrick Henry's going to win this thing.
Fascinating things going on here. No more than that. When we did the draft, Derrick Henry undrafted, despite how he did last year, and now he is absolutely surging. Where I feel like the front two are gassing. Peter, you were the front runner with McCaffrey. The wheels will come off.
40 yards against the Redskins run defense. Not good for McCaffrey. Chubb, Henry, Jacobs, and guess who's got? I mean, there's a lot of guys who are just picking up numbers, and McCaffrey did not have the game. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, Nate, what kind of a segment is this?
What kind of, that was good. I caught that. Gurley, Connor, Mixon struggling this
Those are your
year.
guys?
Of course, those are my guys. But what I love about that list is the young fellas on it. This is
Always.
Running backs is a young man's game. But of course, like you said, Dalvin Cook, man, last night going down, he had a chance to be one of the leaders, if not the leader in rushing this year.
Here's the problem. Nick Chubb might be shut down city in the last few weeks. Dalvin Cook got banged up last night.
I'm telling you, Derrick Henry's going to win this thing.
Okay, there's no one who has more momentum. This is a late charge from the back of the pack.
Can I ask where Zeke Elliott is?
It's a great question.
Zeke Elliott.
Can you answer it?
I don't
He
know.
went to Cabo.
He went to Cabo, and I don't know if he's come back. Like Zeke Elliott, this is usually his time of year. He's not on the top 5. He's not on the top 6.
And yet I believe Dak is top 2 or 3 passing,
Yeah.
so maybe that tells you why the record isn't what it is.
I think, Kay, you're right. Derrick Henry is going to.
I think he's going to win this thing.
No one can
Because,
tackle him.
yeah, just like Kyle said, it works together with what Kyle says all year, that the Titans will end up having to fight for a playoff spot the last game of the season, which means
Saturday game.
they're going to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry as much as they can for the last
So
month.
if Oakland has nothing to play for down the stretch, are they not going to run Josh Jacobs? I don't
correct.
know. If he's a rook, I don't know.
But they're always in the hunt, so as long as they're in the hunt, you might be on the money. The crazy thing about the Titans, I don't know if they're going to have that Week 17 game. The way they're playing right now, they won't need it.
You're right.
Break up the Titans.
Let's go, Chris Carson. This Rashad Penny thing. This 1-2 punch, this duo thing you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not good for the
cramping my style. Will Selva's out in the newsroom in Culver City. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Kay. Guys, appreciate that. Nate, you are too much, my friend. Thursday Night Football will pit two teams at 6-6 with the fate of their seasons hanging in the balance. The Bears trying to stay in the playoff hunt, while Cowboys cling to a lead in the AFC East. Well, it'll be back-to-back Thursday games for Dallas as they are coming off a Thanksgiving Day loss to the Bills. The Cowboys now 0-5 against teams with winning records this season. According to Dak Prescott, it's put up or shut up time, and he's ready to put up.
When it's times like this, it's more to lead by example. Talk's cheap, right? We've talked a lot, and we've talked a bunch and gotten ourselves right to where we are. So in a moment like this, I say hell with the talking, and I'm going to do more. I'm going to work harder, and if you're a young guy looking for somebody to figure it out and how to do it, look at me and some of these other guys, because that's exactly what we're doing, is putting our head down, focusing, and doubling down on ourselves.
Oh, that NFC East race, a 5-7. The Eagles still in the race for the division title, but they didn't do themselves any favors by falling to the Dolphins on Sunday for their third straight loss. And don't think it sat well with head coach Doug Peterson as he told 94 WIP radio on Monday.
I'm disgusted. I'm mad. I'm angry. And I'm probably more so mad at myself. You know, I feel like the things that I mentioned after the game, things I mentioned even to the team about our discipline, our consistency, that the lack of that showed up in this football game, that's on me. That's on me. And that's why I'm disappointed, because I felt like, and I think most people felt like, we were the better football team.
Well, the Eagles' final 4 games are all against NFC East opponents, starting with the Giants this coming Sunday. So they hold their future in their own hands. Maybe, perhaps, they can use a galvanizing talk, maybe a rant. Maybe Kyle has one more in him to maybe motivate this team. Okay, what do you think?
I don't know that he does. I'm looking at his face right now. It looks like he's all
he's
out.
spent from angry
all out
runs.
Of love, all out of shrines.
Yes.
I don't see a dog mask under the table anymore.
I got nothing.
Thank you so much, Will.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you in a bit.
Yep.
It is Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time to hit you with some waiver wire targets for Week 14. Fantasy playoffs are upon us. There are some serious talent out there, so let's get your rosters put together to make a run. At quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, I'm going for it. He's still under 20% owned, despite the fact that he's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback since he was named the starter back in Week 7. The running ability has been a big part of that. He's racked up 3 rushing touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. I like the schedule, by the way, Raiders and Texans over the next 2 weeks, so I think he keeps the run going at least until then. At running back, how about Benny Snell? We talked about him a lot here at the breakfast table. He's also under 20% owned right now. He is on sale Cyber Tuesday. Let's go. He racked up double-digit fantasy points in each of the last 2 weeks without James Conner. He has the Cardinals and the Bills coming up. I believe he is a must-start, especially if James Conner is out. At wideout, Anthony Miller. I picked him up. I'm into my fantasy playoffs with him. He and Trubisky, they have a rhythm now late into the season. He has 33 targets over the last 3 weeks. He's averaged 90 yards a game over that span. Cowboys, Packers, Chiefs on the docket to end the fantasy season. Another receiver for you, James Washington. Clearly a connection there with his quarterback. He's had 90 or more yards and a touchdown in 3 of the last 4 games. He's top 10 in the league in receiving over that span. If you look at the schedule, Cardinals this week, Jets in the fantasy championship. I like the way Hodges just airs it out more than we've seen this squad and this offense do all season long. He's doing his thing. Hodges to Washington. And finally, at tight end, Jack Doyle. It always ends up being a Jack Doyle at the end of the season.
Right,
He'll
it's a hallmark.
save somebody's fantasy year. The Colts just put Ebron on IR. Doyle balled out, 6 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown against the Titans. We've seen him do this before, not a fluke. Plus, he has the Bucs this week. They are top 5 most generous to tight ends. You are welcome. Take a look at the waiver claims you should be making. Ryan Tannehill, even if you have your quarterback as a backup, you definitely need him. Look at that sweet matchup this week up against Oakland. Benny Snell, Anthony Miller, James Washington, and Jack Doyle. Tweet me at GMFB with some questions. We'll get you that